Hello, African sports fanatics. Welcome to another episode of the Safari Soccer Show. I'm your host, Yvonne Etta. Today's edition is a special one. I'm hosting Nkana FC head coach. Mambo gani coach?
Hey, I'm quite Mrishan.
How are you today?
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning to you. Welcome to my show, coach. Before we proceed, maybe just introduce yourself to my viewers and take us through your football journey if you have played soccer before and also your coaching career.
Thank you so much. My name is KALVIN Kaindu. I'm the Nkana FC head coach.
Yeah.
I've been involved in football for quite some time. I started playing competitive football in 1991. And I think by the time that I started playing football, it was not easy for you to get to the Premier League. You have to start in the lower ranks, which was the amateur ranks. But I think I was progressing almost every year until I managed to find myself playing for Zanaco. This is the team where I played most of my playing career. I was there for 15 years. But during the time that I was with Zanaco, one season I had to go and play in Zimbabwe for Highlanders. Then I had also to go and play for Free State Stars in South Africa. I came back to Zanaco where I started playing, and I was appointed as a player coach for 1.5 seasons, and later on graduated to become an assistant coach, where we managed even to go to the first group stage with Zanaco. And at the end, now I managed to go to Zimbabwe and start my coaching career from there.
Great. You have a great football history. But then when I put out the poster of our interview, there are quite a number of fans who are asking if in case today you will still be the head coach of Nkana FC, which we'll get to that. But then before we talk about Nkana, let's talk about you made history as the first ever coach for Gold Miners to finish a season with them despite other coaches maybe half a season or 6 months or less. What was the secret behind you finishing the season with the club by then?
I think it was just by the grace of God, not that I was better than the other coaches. You know, I think football is a sport that is just mainly on an individual. When the team is doing fine, everybody gets the praise, but when the team is not performing, the blame goes to the coach. I think I just had God's grace and favor. How mine at that time was a young team that was ambitious in the Premier League. I think they had all the sponsorship, they had the goal, they had all the money, they had the capacity to hire and fire a coach within 3 months, even and maybe even separate. But I think when I got there, I think I had an advantage in Zimbabwe. I started first of all with the Highlanders for 3 seasons where I think we did quite well. It's unfortunate that we failed to win the championship. I think twice we came out runners up, losing to the virtual winners Dynamos on goal difference. And from there, I went to coach Triangle. It was a team that fought relegation, but the following year we became title contenders and we finished 4th. That's when I decided to go to Howmine, but things didn't work well. After a year, I thought maybe it was time for me to go back home because I was finding it difficult to support my family back home. I think the situation or the currency changed in there because we're no longer using the USD as a local currency, but they had introduced the local plastic money, which was difficult for me to support my family back home. And I made a decision that maybe let me try and to go back home.
Let's talk of Nkana. That's the main aspect of this interview, coach. When you were unveiled as the Nkana FC head coach, the Nkana president believed you had vast experience to coach Nkana and also help them maybe defend the champion, the league, and also make Nkana, I think, reach the group stage of the CAF Champions League. What is happening at Nkana right now?
Yeah, I think when I was introduced, I think the target was quite clear. They wanted him to progress to the group stage of the Confederation.
Yeah.
And by the grace of God, that's what exactly we did. And if you look at the way we have been paired, I think in the group, there are two North African teams which have always been giants, I think, on the continent. We are currently on the 3rd position. We have 6 points at par with Pyramid. We have been trying and we have been doing quite well, I think, in the Confederation. Not very good, but I think we are matching. It's not easy to play in the Confederation. But if we come at the local league, I think that's where we have been struggling. We have been failing to pick up points in unplayed games. Now in the relegation, but once we go in the Confederation, it's a completely different team. But football being football, is results that are needed. But if you look at Nkana, the reason why we are struggling, I think, first of all, there's no sponsor currently. The sponsor has gone out and there are always issues of money. And the people that are in charge, they are trying as much as possible to see that we participate in CAF. You know, when you are playing in CAF, how much income you have to spend, how much income is coming in. And this is probably what has disadvantaged us, because we have to fly to North Africa, and flying to North Africa has never been easy. Football in Africa is not, you have to fly to North Africa, you have to go through Dubai. Imagine how difficult it is. You have to spend 7 hours flying to Dubai, you have to spend another 6 hours flying to Morocco, then you have to come back and play a local league. And that's what has affected us, and we have failed to pick up points, I think, in the league. That's why we are struggling. And also, if you look at the team that Nkana had won the championship, most of the players had left at the end of the season, and it was a rebuilding process. And those that are currently playing, these are players that were not even active in the last season. And I'm happy that there are few players that have just come on the stage, and they are the ones that are helping the team even to get the drive in the Confederation.
One thing that most fans always conclude is that when a team is not performing well, there might be wrangles between the coach and the management or the players. So what is the relationship between you and the players, and also the Nkana FC management?
Yeah, honestly, for me, I think the relationship is excellent with the players. We have got an understanding relationship with everybody. We don't have so many issues, but like I said earlier on, I think in my earlier sentiments, when you have a situation where players will be asking about their incentives and whatever, I think sometimes it becomes very, very difficult for you as a coach, because sometimes you don't even know whether you have to punish that player or you have to plead with the player, and hopefully you get the best out of the party. At the end of the day, when people come out on the field, everybody's just expecting results. They don't care about the other factors that could be affecting the team. But the most important thing is a relationship between the player and the coach.
Okay. Another thing that also the fans were talking about the yesterday's match against Kitwe. The Nkana strikers were very poor. This is how a fan explained their situation. Watching the game on DSTV here, and the Nkana strikers are very poor, hungry, illiterate, and slow. And he wished Nkana FC would go down and play the Eden University League. But then, do you have any plans to sign players in summer?
Honestly, I think I've been talking about the challenges that the sponsors are no longer sponsoring the team they put out, and definitely, if we have to sign a player, we have to sign somebody maybe that is a free agent. So at the moment, we have to do with what is available. And yes, as much as I respect the sentiments or the comments from the soccer fan, me, honestly, as a coach, I take it different. If you are a coach and despite results are not coming, but you have a game where you have got your strikers that are creating so many chances and they are missing, I think you understand that there is little work that you have to do. What is difficult is have a team that does not take a shot at goal, have a team that does not create chances. I think that is very, very dangerous. But if you know that you have got a team that is creating chances, by the grace of God, you know that by one day, I think if we're able to utilize the chances that we are creating, I think we'll be able to pick up the maximum points.
Let's talk about yesterday's match still, because you gifted Kitwe their first win of the season. And the match was dubbed relegation derby, which I don't think even Nkana deserves to have such a match. A 2-1 loss to Kitwe, a team that doesn't have, they don't score more goals. Maybe let's talk about their defense. They score, but then not so much goals. How did you feel giving away a win that I think Nkana would have won this match to such a team? And also, I think we should give accolades to the Kitwe goalkeeper who did a lot of good saves as well.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. I think this is a derby. It's unfortunate that it was called a derby of relegation.
Yeah.
I think Ghana is a big team, and going into that game, I think we haven't been doing well in the league, and we thought probably this is the only game that will give us a bit of hope. And if we manage to pick up 3 points, we'll probably move away from the relegation. And we started quite strong in the first minute. We managed to get the goal, but I think that was our biggest enemy. Once we scored, we relaxed a bit. We were creating a lot of chances. We were good in building up from the back. We were good also in the preparation in the midfield, but I think we're a bit wasteful in the way that we're taking the chances. But at the end of the day, we have an opponent that had 3 shots at goal. They managed to score 2, and we had solved the chances that we created, and unfortunately we didn't win. We made a few mistakes, but for me, I give credit to the team, the way we're playing. If they can play what we're playing, but what is dangerous is the way that goes against a team like that might be picking up points. I think it's quite dangerous for us.
I think we lost communication in the middle of our conversation.
Yeah, I was saying at the derby, I think against the Kitwe, it's unfortunate that it was called the derby of Lena. I think sometimes you are called according to your situation. And when we came in that game, I think we thought probably it's a game that is going to give us a bit of an advantage, but at the end of the day, lost out. We started quite well. We have been a victim of conceding early, but in this game, we are the one that scored early, and we thought we were in control of the game, and that was our biggest enemy, because we were not critical in terms of finishing the chances that we're creating. We're a bit complacent, thinking that this team has been losing and we have taken advantage. We'll probably score more goals, but at the end of the day, they capitalized on the few mistakes that we created, the few mistakes that we made, and at the end of the day, we came out as losers.
Let's talk about match fixing allegations. They are kind of fans are accusing the players of match fixing. For instance, the winning goal for the Kitty, I think it was an on goal by the goalkeeper. How do you term these, and are there any match fixing issues with the club?
Honestly, I don't know. For me, I think it's just I've heard few comments of us from few fans that could be suspecting, fixing, looking at that we considered. But honestly, for me as a coach, I think we just lost the game. We made mistakes, and that's how football is. I don't know. We never had issues of match fixing during the time that we're playing, but there are so many issues of baller bet and whatever that have come in. But football is like that. I think we make mistakes. I think these are blunders that are there in the game, and it's unfortunate if people could think that it could be match fixing. But at the end of the day, when a team is not performing, I think the blame goes onto the coach.
Let's talk about you as a coach. What aspect of football do you get most excited about? For instance, your specific areas of interest.
I'm a coach that believes in having a team that is very offensive, that is attacking. And I think if you look at the philosophy or the playing style of Nkana in the last few seasons, I think Nkana have been known to play a different type of game. We have been trying to introduce a game where we want the team to be passing. And if you look at the way we were playing even yesterday, you can see that the concept is there slowly. It is coming up. It takes a bit of time. You need a bit of patience for you to get such kind of football. But I'm a coach that is attacking oriented, and I always believe in a team that is very, very offensive.
And what, in your opinion, makes an excellent footballer? How do you identify your talent or an individual strength?
Well, it's not difficult, I think, to identify talent. I think if you are looking for talent, one of the best things that you have to look for in a player, first of all, you look at the speed that they have. They say that any player that is fast, I think it's easy for you to work with them. You also look at the other attributes that they have when you are identifying talent. But when he's a young player, you can definitely see that this player has got potential. Even those that have got a good stature in the way that their body is, you can look at the way their stature is, and then you can manage them, and you see how their tactical ability is, and then from there you can make a decision and say this one is a good player.
Just describe for us how you would go about developing your game plan. For instance, yesterday's match, you were 1 up, but then later lost the match. How is your game plan?
I think our game plan was for us to get another goal. You know, when you're having a team that does not have a form that is consistent, and you have been losing games because of few mistakes. I think we thought if we could get another goal, I think probably kill off the opponents. And we were still offensive, and we were still creating a number of chances. We also thought that maybe we need to manage this game, especially that we'll be having another game on Sunday. We'll be traveling out of town. Then Wednesday we'll be hosting Pyramid in the Confederation. We thought we could manage the game, but it's unfortunate that we failed even to defend the goal that we had scored.
As a coach, I know you have had good times and bad times, but then I also, if you wouldn't mind, would you describe when you had an argument with a player and what happened?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure if I can recall any argument with a player. Quite difficult. I think I've been like a father to most of my players, especially those that I've worked with in Zimbabwe. I think I was like a father. I'm not sure if there is an incident where I've remembered arguing with a player, but I think I've been more on the side of being a father, of being a parent, of being a teacher, of being somebody that is to inspire and encourage them.
I don't want to take so much of your time, Coach, because I know you're supposed to be on training right now. But before we wind up our interview, first thing first, would you assure the Nkana fans that Nkana is not going to be relegated to the University League?
Yeah, obviously, Nkana is a big team, and so many people are concerned, are worried, and if I know even by today, it should be one of the topics on every radio station, maybe on social media. That shows the concern. I think Nkana is a big team, has got so a huge thing, and nobody would love to see Nkana go down, and we are working very hard with everybody that is available to see that Nkana survives. And if you look at yesterday's game, Yvonne, honestly, even myself, even as a coach, if you had to interview me about the game, I'll say, Yvonne, we did whatever we could do. It's just unfortunate that we couldn't maximum points. We did whatever we could do. I think even on the tactical aspects, I think the terms, the way we were holding the ball, the way we could play from the back, the way we were moving in the midfield, how we could penetrate even in the final third. It's just the composure of maybe finishing. But at the end of the day, a soccer fan wants results. And if you're not winning, they think maybe the coach is not good enough.
Okay. So maybe as you wind up, your last words, and also maybe what next for Nkana, apart from not being relegated? what next, and what are your plans with Nkana FC right now?
Yeah, I think what we need is more of working on the mental aspects of the players to just encourage, motivate them, make them believe that yes, football is like that. There is a season where things cannot just work, and there's also a season when things can just turn around. The Bible says there is a time for everything, and I think we have been very, very difficult in football. We've got few supporters that are sympathizers that are encouraging the team, especially those that have been watching us regularly. But those that are just getting the result that we have lost are the ones that are feeling much of the pain because don't know how we have played. But those that have been at the stadium, you know, because of the COVID situation, they are not allowing fans, I think, in the field. It's just good that the game that was played, I think it was on TV, and most of them could analyze. And that's why you see some of the comments at the end of the day would say, I think this could have been match fixing. Honestly, some of the issues that happened, I think, probably will leave so much to be desired with some of the fans that were watching. But those that have been watching the team, the few that have, they are sympathizers and they have seen a bit of improvement, honestly, in the way the team is shaping up, in the way the team is playing. But the biggest concern is the result and the position where Nkana is currently.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach, for this special edition of the Safari Soccer Show. To our fans, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Safari Soccer. Follow us on all our social media handles at Safari Soccer Show. Our next episode will be on Monday, and I'll be hosting the first president, Mr. Andrew. And don't forget to watch other shows. Denis Onyango retired from the national team. I had a chat with him sometime around end of January. You can watch my interview with him as well. Thank you so much, Coach, and all the best with Nkana.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. Thank you so much for hosting me.
You're welcome, and have a good day.
Thank you so much.